So what did one plate say to the other? Tonight, dinner's on me. I'm 29 years of age.
Perfect.
Hello there broskies, the Turk Hassan back here again, and in today's episodes we are having a look at the Air Force One colour of the month. Right, it is August at the time of recording this video, and if you know me, I love an all-white sneaker in the summer. And in my humble opinion, there isn't much out there better than an all-white Air Force One. Now I know, an AF1, especially the leather pairs, they crease as soon as you look at them. And this one might not be any different, but there's a lot of reasons why I'm liking these. Now I'm actually in the process of spending 7 days with the Air Force One fresh. I was going to do 14, but just how my schedule was lined up, it's near enough impossible to do that. So I'm spending 7 days with that pair, and Nike were claiming they do hide creases more so than others. And I will save the final result for that video, but I am very disappointed with that. Now I was actually going to do a comparison between the fresh and the colour of the month, but the way it's going at the moment, that pair, it's not even worth it. It's an amazing pair, don't get me wrong, but for what Nike are claiming, I'm very disappointed. But anyway, once it's done, I'm going to link it down below in the description box, so have a look at that video. This video though is of course all about the colour of the month. So there's no better place than starting off with the box. Now as you've probably seen behind me, it is one of the OG classic Nike boxes that we had for quite a few years. Until we had this red and white box, this was the box that came with so many Nike sneakers. It was either this colour or they replaced the orange with sort of like a grey/silver. And I just remember having a ton of these boxes in my house, storing so many different things other than shoes. So nostalgia for me is defo there with this pair. It comes with this wicked tissue paper that has Air Force One on it and a basketball court as well. And for us sneakerheads, that is such a nice touch. Now what comes attached to the shoes is actually a toothbrush, which of course signifies what people clean their shoes with, especially Air Force Ones. And it also has since 1982, which of course is when the Air Force One first debuted. Now another thing that does come attached is this Air Force One sort of pamphlet, I'm gonna say. With Air Force One at the front, and at the back it has the Nike basketball there. But inside it has Nike at the top, and then it says a shoe so revolutionary. The world has never been the same since 1982. And then on the other side it sort of labels the Air Force One and what made it so great. So for people out there like me that love those different boxes and love the little things that come with the shoes, like key tags, key rings and that sort of thing, I think Nike did satisfy us there. Now on the product sticker itself, it does actually say Air Force One Low Retro, and the official colorway, ooh, I wonder what it could be. Yes, of course, it's triple white. Now this pair retailing at 135 quid, in the UK anyway. We are going to be touching on why Nike have actually changed that price and what makes this so different. But we'll leave some purchase links down below just in case you're still after a pair. Now in terms of how this fits, it's exactly like the normal Air Force One. So whatever you go in that size, then I'd say stick to that. For me personally, I always go half a size down to what I normally get in say an Air Max 90 and Air Max 1 for example. But of course for you, it might be different. And I do like a little bit of room at the front, just in case I want to put a crease preventer or crease protector. But if you did want it to go nice and snug, then I'd say go one size down. Right broskies, it's that part of the video to see what these are actually made of. Now at first glance, this might look like your regular Air Force One, but if you've been around long enough, you know it is a total different shape. Now different shape in terms of the OG cut, because this is a lot more thicker in terms of the toe box and other panels. Whereas the new set of Air Force Ones are sort of more streamlined. Now this pair actually feels like Nike have really used real leather here. And if you've got any of the GR Air Force Ones recently, you know it feels more like plastic. Now in terms of the creasing, nothing really changes here. The left shoe of mine actually is already creased out of the box. Now I have put a shoe treat in this, but it isn't really going to do much just because of how they've been in the box for so long. It might stretch it out so slightly, but that crease is still going to be there. So if you are wondering if these do crease or not, there's already your answer. Now we've got that stitched in Nike swoosh on top of the toe box, and we don't have that sort of tag that we normally get on Air Force Ones. It's sort of that silver emblem that sits at the bottom of the laces. But it does come in these white thick laces, and the tongue does change it up here. Of course, being this color of the month, it is an anniversary edition by Nike. But we do have the Nike Air and Air Force One at the top of the tag, and then that glittery sort of stitching anniversary edition, which I do really like. And then the tongue in itself is leather. Now this is where it sort of divides a lot of people. Because of the sock liner being cotton, it is very comfortable, a lot more comfortable than the Air Force One Fresh. And that pair did use leather on the sock liner, which is great to keep them clean, but is a disaster in terms of comfort. So I'm kind of glad they went back to the cotton on this pair, but keeping them clean is always going to be a struggle. Now the insole here is as traditional as it gets, with the Nike Air branding slapped on top. Now in terms of the heel counter, Nike have actually changed it here. Instead of the traditional Nike Air at the back, you've actually got Nike Air stitched in. And they've actually changed the font here, but the whole panel at the heel counter is all premium leather, which is so nice to see. Now moving on to the midsole, it is as traditional as it gets yet again, with the Air branding on the lateral side. And then for me, one of the best and classic outsoles we will ever see on a silhouette. Not many sneakers have a better outsole, in my opinion. Right broskies, at £135, is this colour of the month really worth that price increase? Well, I guess we'll decide together. This part of the video, we are deciding whether these are a buy or a buy. Now, myself, I've always been a fan of the Air Force One. It was one of my first silhouettes as a kid. But like I've spoken about many times before on this channel, the creasing really does put me off. And yes, you could put crease preventers or crease protectors and stuff them after you've used them, but it does take a lot away from the comfort. I don't really want to have to feel like my toes are cramped up in a shoe just to look good, and especially if you are out for a few hours. Now the Air Force One Fresh did claim they hid creases, but I'll let you in on a little secret, it wasn't as they described it. They have sort of used a leather that does stretch out, so say if you use the shoe tree after you've used them, they sort of do revert back to the shape. But if you don't use anything or stuff them after, then you sir or madam are stuffed. But this one does revert back to the OG, and of course it is going to crease up. And like I've shown you, pulling my left shoe straight out of the box, it's already creased. And of course it's just how they put the shoes in the box without stuffing the shoe with the tissue completely. So it might just need stretching out and it might just go back to normal, but who knows. But that just shows me that these sneakers will indeed crease the moment you step out the house. But if you have overcome the creasing thing, or you don't really care about it, then this one, I can definitely recommend these. The premium leather feel to this shoe, it does really remind me of the 2020 dunks that we did get. The premium leather feel to those, chef's kiss. But broskies, as much as they've used the OG shape to this shoe, and the little collectibles that you did get, alongside what it does feel like actual leather this time, it's still just an Air Force One all white. So if that's something you do really like, then I can definitely say get these. If you don't, then don't bother. It is still just an Air Force One at the end of the day. And in my opinion, it's one of those essential sneakers you need at least one pair in your collection. But if you don't like them, of course, then this is no different. But in my opinion, I love how they feel on foot, I love the premium leather that they've used, and the OG shape as well. Not to forget the little collectibles and the OG style box. It's just the price, that's the only thing that lets this down. If this was 110 or 115, I would definitely be more eager to get these. It does sort of knock a few points off this shoe. But of course, if you've got the money or can get some discount, then go for these all day long. Just be mindful of the creasing, because this pair will defo crease. Anyways broskies, the colour of the month, I can indeed give these an absolute buy. But anyways broskies, comment your thoughts down below and let me know what you're feeling about the colour of the month. Is this an essential Air Force One to have in your collection? Will the creasing put you off, or does the price do that? Leave it all down below and I will pin the best comments. Anyways broskies, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting. Hit me up on my IG as well, because I'm most active over there. And whilst you're here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. And until the next episode, take care.